A whole bunch of new buildings could be coming to Halifax. Just last Tuesday, there were 22 developments on the table at City Council. 14 of them passed on to the next step, no problem, but City staff recommended Council to reject 8 of them.
However, instead of rejecting them, Council voted to make staff reconsider the recommendations for the 8 developments. We have a feeling that they'll be back at the table pretty soon, so we want to tell you about them. We're calling them Halifax's Crazy Eights.
Dun dun dun.
Noise you couldn't quite locate or explain.
Let's start at Quintal Road, because it's about to blow up. 3 of the 8 developments are along this road, and there's already a lot of activity happening. The Keep at the intersection of Vernon Street will soon be completed, and there are also developments that are under consideration in the area, such as the Willow Tree Tower, the Ben's Bakery development, and whatever we're thinking about doing with the old St. Patrick's High School site.
The first development is at 6324 and 6330 Quintal Road. It's right on top of what is now McDonald's and Fitness FX.
Wow, working out there must be a real temptation test.
For a development that's replacing a gym, they're really raising the bar for building height in this neighborhood, with a proposed 10 stories.
The next development is right next to the last one, right on top of my favorite Korean barbecue spot, so for me, it's already under the heat. The design for this building is really quite something. Like, it looks like a Sith Lord stuck a lightsaber right down the middle of its 11 stories. The final development proposed for Quintal Road is right at the end, near the Rotary, and I'm calling it the Tall, Dark, and Handsome. It's 17 stories tall, but it actually looks pretty nice.
I don't mind it either, but the concept drawing's a little iffy. I'm pretty sure the building next door is only 5 stories, but here it looks closer to 8 or 9. Is that just me? Alright, next we have the South End, because it needs some development love too, and they're about to get heaps of it. 4 of the Crazy 8 are all located on or near South Street.
The first one is at 5720 South Street, where El Dorado Properties is hoping to fit 91 units into a 12-story building. They're calling it South at South Park. Oh, I see what you did there. Like, that's supposed to be a play on South by Southwest, but South at South Park? Huh?
Or it's because it's at the corner of South Street and South Park Street. But anyways.
Alright.
Next we have 5241 South Street. This 8-story development involves a heritage building that goes back to 1838. The good news is the developer would like to maintain the heritage property and build behind it.
The new building looks pretty cool too. It does look familiar though. How about we put red balconies on it? Yep, there we go. Then there's 1037 Lucknow Street. 9 stories, 90 units, and a solid no from city staff. They might not have much luck now, but maybe they'll have better luck next time.
Oh, I hope you're proud of yourself for that one, Ute.
Next up, we have 1122 Wellington Street. 11 stories and 96 units. If the street name sounds familiar, it's because there's another development just a few buildings down that Dartmouth councillor Gloria McCluskey helped approve to essentially spite Halifax. Now, Gloria isn't on council anymore, but we'll see if that spiteful development gets a new friend.
Finally, the last development of the Crazy 8 is on the site of the United Memorial Church, which is a shame because I think the church building looks really beautiful. But then again, churches aren't exactly a booming industry right now, so I can see the appeal of a residential building instead. If this development does go through, the Memorial Church will be no more than a memory.
Now, you might be wondering why the Crazy 8 developments were rejected by city staff. Well, it's the same reason for each and every single one: size. And not that size always matters, but in city staff's perspective, these buildings are just too big for their neighborhoods. But it's not just their perspective. City staff are currently basing their decisions off the newly written center plan. And according to that plan, where these buildings are asking for 7 to 17 stories are all areas designated between 3 to 6 stories.
Now, the developers have acknowledged this, but argue that while they're not following the details of the plan, they are very much aligned with the plan's overall vision, which is to have more people living in the city center in a way that doesn't intrude too much on existing neighborhoods.
That being said, the center plan is a publicly developed document that came out of the input of thousands of residents in Halifax. These 8 developments are kind of testing that plan, so let's see if City Council sticks to that plan or sides with the Crazy 8. If you have any thoughts or comments on these developments, and especially if you live on the peninsula where they're going into, we really recommend that you email your councillors. Here's their contact information.